Hey everybody, let's talk about friction. 1978 to at around 1983, somewhere in there. It gets a little hazy, but I remember 1978. I was a junior in high school. Bob Michael was the most popular guy on the campus at Union City High School. Well, we were best friends, and Chris Winzikowski bought a drum set. We actually went to Cleveland. He ordered it. I think we went up to Cleveland and we bought it. We picked it up with him. You know, he bought that. I think it was an Octopus, a Pearl or a Yamaha, one of the two, one of those Octopuses there. But you know, big black set, monster, Neil Peart kind of rock and roll drum set and everything like that. So we got together and started. Chris had a drum set. Bob could play guitar, and he used to sit on. It makes me jealous all the time because he'd sit on the playground and bring his acoustic guitar and just play, and he'd be on the swings and he'd be going and I'd be over there like throwing rocks at myself and going, man, be I wish I could play guitar. So, him being my best friend, we this was like years before that, and then we got flies on the end of long string of hair, and they'd fly around. That's how when we first met, and it made him laugh. So we became best friends in ninth grade. Then junior year, Chris got his drum set. Bob could play guitar, and they got together and they started jamming in Chris's bedroom, and they needed a bass guitarist. Well, I didn't buy a bass guitar. I bought a Moog. I bought a Moog keyboard, and I played bass on that. I think we had one or something. Bob had one. It just started playing on, but that didn't work out because it was really hard to wear around my neck because it kept falling off because I didn't have a strap. You know, boom, 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 boom. Anyhow, let's see. And then this is going to be a long one, so strap in. And so because I went out and bought bass guitar and we started rehearsing. I think the first song we ever learned was probably Taking Care of Business or China Grove, uh, 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 Cocaine, something like that, But we'd start jamming, and then all of a sudden our friends started finding out that we had a rock band. And so come like December, we had a big youth following that we used to go to the United Methodist Church in Union City, Pennsylvania. So they asked us. We always had a New Year's Eve get together with all the youth, and they asked us to play. And we thought, you know what a better way to introduce rock and roll to America's youth than to have Friction perform at New Year's Eve 1977, 1978 at the United Methodist Church. So, what I can do here is, there it is. Oh, yeah, look at that. That's Bob Michael, and that's my bass guitar. I don't even know what the heck it was, but man, it was cool. Look at me. Look at Bob. Bob's getting ready to sing, probably, what's he getting ready to sing? Um, Stairway to Heaven. No, that was too hard for us then. But yeah, we did all kinds of the standards. I think we did about 10 songs and then repeated them. And then we actually, a funny story, we actually bought some of that carbonated wine, or not, that grape juice that looks like champagne, and we went to open that up in the kitchen after we were done because we were going to celebrate our first show and everything. And we actually got, I don't know if we got kicked out of there that night, but it was just something that was going to happen for the rest of our lives as rock and roll musicians. So, and you guys out there, you musicians can feel our pain. So that started. Let's see here. There's a group shot of you guys probably have seen that before. That's Marty all the way over there to the right, and Bob in the center, and Chris Winzikowski. Oh, he hadn't got his drums yet. Oh, I messed the story up. He must have already had those drums, and then he ordered them like within the next year. So I'm not going to change this video. We'll just go with that story because it sounded really cool. Maybe he went to get those drums. I don't know. We went someplace. I know we went to a pizza place up in Cleveland that was really good. Oh man. Then I have very few photos of us in school and stuff like that. But one thing that started it off for us really was, you know, this changed our life was right here. Oh, where to go? There it is. Friction. That's out of our yearbook. We actually made the yearbook in, but that was in 1979, and we had a guitar player named Rich Dales. He's the guy in the center all the way to the left, and that's Bob in the center, and then me on bass guitar, and down in the lower corner there is George Callaghan on keyboards. His dad was the doctor in town, and George was a good guy, fun, yeah. And then Chris Winzikowski still on those drums. Chris Winzikowski on the drums, but that was from our yearbook in 1980, and here's Rich Dales. Here's a close-up of him. He was from Ohio. He used to go camping with Bob down in Playland Campgrounds down in Meadville. So he met up with him, and man, he was a hell of a guitar player. I think he was like at this photo here. I think he's like 15 years old, and he could play the solo out on Stairway to Heaven. It was huge. Oh yeah, yeah, it was huge. Oh, he can do the slide parts to Freebird too. So he was in. He was in. We got to get that guy. Yeah, Rich Dales over there in what the heck was the name of that? Cortland, Ohio. Brownlee Bradley Road. Yeah, Cortland, Ohio. Let's see here. Then Rich had to go back to school or something, that he had to leave the band. He was in the band for about a year, had a blast, but he had something went on and he had to leave, and so we ended up getting Marlon Scott, and then Chris Winzikowski. Well, this is 1980. Holy shit, I'm going forward here. 1980, Marlon Scott and Dave Wizikowski. Dave Wizikowski replaced Chris. Chris, of course, got a full year scholarship to Gannon, I think it was. He was valedictorian of 1980, class of 1980 in Union City, so he had a free ride to Gannon, and so sure, why not? And then we got Donnelly Watts. She was in our graduating class with me and Bob and Chris, and she was a heck of a keyboard player. She was a concert pianist for most of her teen years, traveled all over Europe. So we only get the best, only the best. So we got Marlon Scott all the way over there to the left, and then next to him is with the mustache. If you can see that grainy picture there, because down there in the corner it says Friction, so I know that it's Friction. There's Dave Wizikowski right behind me, and then Bob Michael in the background there. You know, he's striking that pose, and then Donnelly Watt right there, yeah. And then there's George Callaghan. We had double keyboard attack at the time. No, we just didn't. George was still in the band, and Donnelly was coming into the band, and George was actually going to be leaving the band because he was going to be graduating a year later. So, you know, how that kind of stuff goes. And then that's me down front there with in a jumpsuit. Every rock and roll guy has to have a jumpsuit, and I'm sure every guy has one in his past. So don't you tell me any differently out there, America. All right, let's see. That's Friction about 1980, I believe. Could be. No, I think Marlon, you know. I remember Marlon. I met Marlon through a mutual friend over. Marlon lived in McCain, and I called him up and I said, "Hey, Marlon, we got a band in Union City. You want to come and join us?" And he's like, "I don't know. I got things going on." And so I said, "Well, you know, if you change your mind, give me a call. Here's my number." You know, it was old rotary phone, 814-438-2848 was my phone number at home in Union City. And lo and behold, about an hour later, I get a call back from Marlon, and his dad said, "Man, you better do that. Those guys are going to be famous. I mean, look at them. I mean, look at them. And I bet you they're first drummer has a big Octopus drum set too. So that's what Marlon. Then Marlon came over to my house and he tried out, and oh man, he had Marlon. Marlon had the biggest fingers, and I looked at that little Les Paul that he had, and the first thing I said, "Hey, Marlon," I introduced myself, and he started setting up, and he pulled out his guitar, and I'm looking at him, and I shook his hand, and I'm like, "How in the heck are you gonna play that guitar with those big fingers?" Man, did he prove me wrong, because big finger guys can play guitar too. I'm just saying, not that there's anything wrong with big finger guys, you know. But anyhow, that's Friction about 1980. So let's go here. Oh, I was going through my parents' house last summer and going through a bunch of stuff, and I found an old Friction light sign. That must have been, it was a top to a road case that we had all of our lights in, and we didn't realize at the time that we stuck all of our lights in there, and we had this array of lights, and we built the road case, and I think that top might be 1/2 inch CDX, and then we built the rest of it out 3/4 inch, and it took 11 guys to move it, so we never used it, but it looked pretty, the lid looked pretty cool. That's the lid of it. So we used to set the lid up in front of our drums and just use that as our like name of our band. So and I don't know what that rake is, but I think that's my dad's. But anyhow, that's Friction light sign. I think Bob carved those letters in there too with his something. He did something. But man, we were ahead of the game. We knew what we were doing in 1979, 1980. Oh yeah, yeah. Went to Markham's, you know, first time. Keith Pacheco was there actually, but we went to Markham's, and we actually went to their music store next door that had sold sheet music. And the problem was is if you wanted to learn like a song from 1978, 79, 80, we thought you had to buy the sheet music and then you'd have the words and the music. Nobody ever told us that you picked up a 45 and listened to it till Keith said, "Hey, idiots, just listen to the 45." So that's a little story behind that. It was pretty cool though. Yeah. We never bought any. I think we did buy sheet music though when we found something like something like some Bad Company from '72 or something like that, or maybe A Whole Lot of Love, which was really complicated. We couldn't do that one either until like 2015 or something like that. I don't know. But anyhow, let's see. I'm just rambling here because this stuff is pretty cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this out there. Oh, let's talk about Friction. I'm Marty Coe. Yeah, once again. All right, where are we here? Let's see. Let's go here. Oh, here's the Friction set list, and I've got a copy of it right here in front of me. Looks just like the picture. All right, let's see. Friction, 10/28/1980. Baby If You Want to Dance, Michael Stanley, But I Tried, Dirty White Boy, Rockin' Into the Night by 38 Special. What a great song. The Wish, Save a Little Room, Eddie Money, of course, Honky Tonk Woman. I got Cocaine by Eric Clapton, which ended up getting us kicked out of Seneca High School for a concert because we played that, and they said that we were corrupting the minds of America's youth by playing cocaine. We just really liked the way that it was in E, and the drums sounded cool. I never knew it was about drugs. Of course, I went and bought sheet music to learn songs. So, All Right Now from Free, Just Can't Wait, Love Itis, Love Stinks, Jay Giles Band, Raise a Little Hell. Oh yeah, I think we played Raise a Little Hell for like 40 years. I'm Almost Ready, Pure Prairie League. I don't ever remember that. Oh, Brownsville Station. Went to the field house out Brownsville Station. We bought their album and learned just about every song off it. She Put the Light on Me and Smoking in the Boys' Room for Brownsville Station. The Cradle Will Rock. Van Halen. Oh, we did rock. Taking Care of Business. Don't Bring Me Down. Bad Case of Loving You. My Sharona. My Sharona. Oh yeah, I still got it. Old Time Rock and Roll, of course. Rocky Mountain Way. Oh, by Triumph. We did the Triumph version. Rocky Mountain Way. We saw Triumph at the Fieldhouse. Don't Ever Want to Lose You, New England. Stairway to Heaven. Feels Like Making Love. Shook Me All Night Long. Oh boy. Oh, Gotta Keep Her Running, The Gods. Barbara Ann, The Beach Boys. And of course, our 35th song that we would have performed for the night, probably our encore, was Freebird. So we have Freebird, Cocaine, and Honky Tonk Woman. All of the standards that every band should know and love. There you go. So that's a Friction. That's a copy of our Friction. You know, that's like a promo copy. You know, this down here, I don't know, it looks like red wine and some Yukon Jack or something down across the bottom here. I don't know. Whatever that is. Let's see here. We got, oh, we're in 1980, right? Like the end of 1980, you know, Bob was a genius. He said, you know what you got, you know what we need to do? We just can't keep playing these songs. We need to get a record, because we heard a band, couple of bands locally from Erie, the Pulse, and there's a couple of other bands that put out, or getting ready to put out 45s. We heard their originals and stuff. My underarm itch. Sorry about that. But anyhow, and we're like, man, we need to get a 45. Let's write an original. And we started writing some stuff, and I came up with this. Always had these words. Let me. Always had. Oh, there they are. Always had this one line. I always wanted to. Not that I was a fabulous songwriter, or a poet, because I couldn't stand poetry. Put me to sleep in English class. Mrs. Sweet, she lost her pinky in an accident or something. But she was our English teacher, and man, she was boring. Whew. So I didn't like poetry. Anyhow, all right. So these are the original words. I found these. I've had these like since 1980. Sometime I wrote it. Well, I can't see what it says up there. But those are the words. There's a big stain in the middle. Of course, I think that's how all original songs that people have on scrib notes or scratch notes or whatever they call it. All right, let's see. And I had a line there. I always wanted to use this line. It was like a grandeur line. It's like, did you see me standing there? And that says it all, people, because I'm on stage, we're on stage, we'd look at each other and go, yeah. Did you see me standing there? No, I was moving around because I'm a rock and roll star. Yeah, but did you see me standing there? It was kind of like being, like if there was the faces of Mount Rushmore and then you'd see me standing over there next to it. That's how great that is, with a big American flag behind it. All right, let's see here. Ooh. All right, still with us out there, America? This is Let's Talk About Friction, the history of Friction, 1978 to at or around like 1983, and it gets hazy after that. It doesn't. I just don't have exact here. Let's see here. So we got the words to Rockin' Tonight. We sat down at Bob's house, and you know, Bob had this really cool, really. I can't remember if we heard the riff someplace, but we just came up with it, and it was cool. We picked A because that was the first letter of the alphabet, so we put it in the key of A because that was the easiest, we thought. And we figured we'd never get any sheet music for other bands to learn it, so we just thought we'd put it on a 45, make it easier for somebody. So let's see here. There's that, and then here's the we went all out, people. We went all out. Here's the 45 sleeve. The other side has a picture on it, but I don't have. Man, there's a lot of stains on this old stuff. Wonder what those are. I don't know. And Bob Michael, vocals, guitar. Marlon Scott, guitar, vocals. Donnelly Watts, keyboards, vocals. We must have ousted George Galgayan by this time. Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, we said, see you later, George. And see ya. No, just kidding. Love ya. Miss ya. Dave Wizakowski on the drums. Dave had a black drum set too. I think that's why we hired him in the band, because he had a big black drum set just like Chris did. I think his was like a 90 plus or 90 plus, not an octopus or whatever. Like Chris had like 11 drums on his thing, and Dave had 8, I think. And it was pretty cool. But Dave Wizakowski and Marty Coe on vocals and bass. I should have put bass and vocals, because Bob was vocals and guitar. He was the lead singer. That makes us to look like we were both lead singers, and we had that 2 lead singer attack, and we didn't have that. We were traditional. We had Bob Michael He was the lead singer, and Marty Coe, I was the bass guitarist. By that time, I had 4 strings. Yes, 4 strings. But you know, I didn't pay homage to myself. Let me go back here. Hold on. Bear with me here, people. Right here. There it says, right there. Right, like 6 lines down. 6 strings on electric guitar. Man, I always take the high road. I always, yeah, I should. 4 strings on electric guitar. They're playing music from their cars. Anal speakers, you tear them apart. Yeah, something like that. 6 strings. That's it. I could do the whole song for you right now. I'd do it just like Luann Capella, and you know, without any like accompaniment. No instruments, just me. All right, let's see. Get rid of the words. Let's go back here. Okay, we got. Oh, here it is. We have "Rockin' Tonight." Oh, ooh, on this it says, "Rockin' Tonight," and "But I Tried." "Rockin' Tonight" was side A, and side B was "But I Tried." And let's see here. We'll go to close that out. There's the official 45 right there. I got a couple of those. Yeah, I even got a record player to play it on. So, but that says "Rockin' Tonight." Marty Coe, Bob Michael, Friction. We did that. We recorded that at Select Sound in Kenmore, New York, up near Buffalo. It was pretty cool. Those people, those guys had a blast with us because we were a bunch of young kids that didn't know crap. But you know, we knew enough to get a 45 and then get it on the radio. So I think we were geniuses. But all right, we got that now. Oh, this will be huge. Let's do this. Let's do this. I hope I can get through this next part without crying. All right. Yeah. I think this was released like February of 1981. We recorded it in like November, December. But I Tried and "Rockin' Tonight." I remember the first time I heard this. I did that classic movie thing where I was driving on Route 19 almost to Waterford, and I remember it was playing on K104. We went to Bill Shannon. Thank you, Bill Shannon, for putting our song on the radio so that I could drive home and hear it swerve over to the side of the road and go, "That's my freaking song. That's me." I think. Yeah, that's me. Yeah. It was huge. Just like the movies, people. I mean, we can't make this stuff up. You know. I mean, when Friction the movie comes out, it'll be in there, except it'll be like you know, a bigger car. I can't remember. I think I was driving my parents' Oldsmobile station wagon. No, I would have. No, you know what I had? Oh, I had a 1967. Uh-oh, what happened? Uh-oh, we lost it. Yeah, let's go to the B side. Let's go to the B side. Let's see here. Bob's gonna kill me. This is the B side. This is one of my favorite Friction songs. Oh yeah. Stereo guitar. Chris Wizikowski, or Dave Wizikowski on drums.
I was playing my guitar in a rock and roll bar on Saturday night when your eyes met mine.
I love this song.
In a trance.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, my knees started shaking, my heart it was aching, so I said it. Hey baby, in that front row chair, come on over here, let's talk romance.
Yeah, that's But I Tried. Yeah, that's from the Friction debut 45 with "Rockin' Tonight" and "But I Tried," released in like February of 1981, and a little bit of tidbit about that. That thing, "Rockin' Tonight," debuted on WCCK 103.7. That they turned into K104, but back then, and Bill Shannon, we walked in there, gave it to him, because the Pulse had their song on like a month before that, and I have a Pulse tie-in here coming up, and so they beat us, but we got that song on there, and it was #1 for 9 weeks, and you don't understand that, like it used to take me forever to get home from Erie to Union City, because every time I heard it, and it was playing every 45 minutes, I'd have to pull over. Yes, that's my song. Hey everybody, that's my song. And I'd never get home, because it took sometimes it took an hour to get home from Union City. It depends on where I was at. And so every 45 minutes, it'd take me an hour and a half to get home. But anyhow, okay, let's see here. Let's move on. Oh, during that time, I'll just keep that up there. Where is it here? Yeah, that had let's see, we'll play this one. Oh, I think everybody's going to remember this one. This was, we ended up going back in like about sometime in 1981, spurred by the success of our #1 hit, Rockin' Tonight. And we sold a lot of those 45s too. Oh yeah, yeah. I think we had 200, because that was the break off of getting a good price. So we had like 200 made, and I think we sold about 150 of them. So yeah, we were huge. No, we probably sold more than that, because they were in every record store, and yeah, we made some bucks off of that. I think we made like 60 cents per 45 or something like that. But how many people remember this one?
Excuse me, do you know what time it is?
It's midnight.
Oh yeah. Midnight I Go Punk. Bob always got a lot of crap. The whole band did, because all the punk scene that was going on at the time, they thought we were making fun of them, and we used to party with a lot of them. So we had a lot of friends. Yeah, it was like we were honoring them.
We need our music, we don't need no sleep.
Here we go.
Nighttime for cruisers, so stay on your feet. Hey, hey, we're just trying to fool you. The darkness is ours, we know how to use it. We're gonna change your mind. Midnight I go punk. At midnight I go punk. Go crazy. Midnight I go punk. Makes you wild. Midnight I go punk. When it's light, we rock the cover.
Oh yeah.
You're not
Yeah,
to discover.
Midnight I Go Punk. Oh yeah, this was like
We're just trying to fool
81, recorded in 81, I think it came out. Played a little bit on the radio. Rockin' Tonight played on WCCK and Jet Radio. They were on 1400 at the time on AM. Jim Cook. We'd like to thank Bill Shannon and Jim Cook. They were always in our corner. So, here we go. Everybody. Marlon Scott.
Come on and rock me, baby.
Oh yeah.
When the night comes around, we get out and go crazy and lose it. 'Cause we like the night. Midnight I go punk. At midnight I go punk. You dye your hair. Midnight I go punk. Shake it rough. Midnight I go punk.
Midnight.
I go punk. Hey.
Midnight.
I go punk. Hey.
All right, that was Midnight. I Go Punk. For all you punkers out there that are going midnighting. All right, let's see. Oh, I mentioned the Pulse, and we got a chance to just meet those guys, and we met their manager at the time, Dennis Cohen. I think he approached us or something because of Rockin' Tonight, was doing real well on the radio, and somehow we got connected up with them, and we got a chance we actually did a warm-up show with them at the bar down in Molly B's, I think it was, down on 10th Street or 9th Street, someplace in there. I don't remember. If for all you people, put it in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. Molly B's. Dennis used to own Molly B's, so we did the warm-up there. But we got a chance, what kind of put us on the map, and got a chance to play of course, Rockin' Tonight being number one. And in 1981 for the countdown on K104, it was number 10. You realize how many times it has to play to be number 10 in the 104 countdown of 1981? I mean, we beat out some of the heavy hitters that year, people. That's pretty heavy hitters. Like, I'm not sure if, I think Hank Aaron had retired by then. He might have been still playing. I don't know. It was so long ago, I don't even remember. But what we did here was the Pulse. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Marty Lee went on to go with Donnie Iris and Jeff Berger, Bobby Berger. Bob played bass. Jeff played keyboards. They were good guys. And then Jeff Clare on drums. They knew we were young, and they helped us. They helped us immensely at this show. This was at Rainbow Gardens. Like it was the first time we ever played Rainbow Gardens. When at Friday the 13th, I think that was like 81 or 82. Probably it had to have been like 82, somewhere in there. So, but you guys might not know this, but actually, for some reason, when we recorded Midnight I Go Punk, I guess we were lazy and didn't write another song, so Dennis talked us into redoing the Pulse song, You Wanna Know Why. So I'll play a little bit of that for you. Some of you people may have never heard this, so here we go. Okay, what I want to do right now, this is going to be a good setup because this is kind of a transition area right here. There was some before, but I can't remember them. But right here in the studio, and we were recording Midnight I Go Punk and the Pulse, You Want to Know Why, Donna Lee was getting ready to leave the band, and it was all amicable, whatever that, friendly, and she was a great keyboard player, and she was getting ready to leave the band, and we still had some shows with her, and she wanted to come up and record and during Midnight I Go Punk and You Want to Know Why. So we brought along this guy. He was kind of like the same thing with George Calagayan and Donna Lee. We just there was kind of an overlapping of players, and we didn't learn how to be ruthless until later on. But let's see here. We brought this guy. Whoops. Hold on here. Paul Roby. So if you listen, you'll hear the first Friction recording of Paul Roby. So let's all honor Paul by listening to him play piano. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Roby. Man, what a master. Right in the pocket.
You give her the eye, she passes you by.
How you doing, Paul?
Why?
All right. And that's just about it, people. That's talking about friction all the way back at the beginning. So about up to, I think, 82, 83, this whole thing's taking place right now. So right now we're just putting it all together to become the famous worldwide rock and roll band that we became. Like I said, we were international. I know we went to Canada a couple of times. Like we went on a trip when we were recording at Select Sound. We all went, I think this time when we were recording these songs, we went across into Canada. So that made us international superstars, like I've told you before. So, and then I remember one time, the famous, we were outside of McDonald's and I'd had a milkshake and there was a tour bus of all these old people that pulled up in front. And some of you guys in the band may remember that, but we'll save that story for another time. But anyhow, not that I wanted to do anything to hurt people. Paul Roby. You wanna know why? You wanna know why? You wanna know why? See, don't see you. All right, everybody. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a fabulous day. So we'll leave it right there with all right. Oops. There we go. I'm going to sing this part for you right here again, in case you didn't catch it before. Yeah, this wouldn't be Luann Capella, though. This would used to be singing with the record. Yeah. Hey, have a great day, people. I am, and you are. This is Let's Talk About Friction. This is Marty Coe. Thank you for spending, holy cats, almost 40 minutes. You people are crazy. We'll see you guys later.